morning. Welcome to another edition in R.A. Fischer's ongoing webinar series. So our agenda for today, we're going to talk about the why we developed this new iontophoresis technique. We'll talk about traditional versus modern iontophoresis. And I want to introduce to you the new Fischer. It's our brand new iontophoresis device. For over 30 years, we've been proud to offer hyperhidrosis patients the MD1 and the MD2, but now the Fischer is kind of that next step and the next evolution in modern iontophoresis devices. So the why. Since the 1950s, R.A. Fischer has really been the #1 preferred iontophoresis provider for dermatologists around the world. This is not a new science. It has been FDA cleared for a long time, but really since R.A. Fischer pioneered this technology, there hasn't been a ton of innovation. And so through our experience over the years, we've really learned a lot, and we've worked to innovate based on feedback that we've heard from doctors as well as patients. So we're really proud to say that our new machine is safer, easier, and more effective than traditional hyperhidrosis solutions. But what exactly do we mean by modern iontophoresis? It's a good question. So, traditional iontophoresis has relied on metal plus electricity plus a tap water source to deliver the natural minerals found in tap water to essentially plug up a patient's sweat pores to create a long-lasting dryness barrier. But for obvious reasons for patients, it can seem a little bit intimidating because the idea of metal plus electricity plus water doesn't really seem to mix. Plus, on top of that, you have a logistic problem. Metal, over time, will corrode. It's only natural. Whether those metal electrode plates are made of aluminum or even stainless steel, over time they will become discolored, they will start to corrode, and they may even begin to pit. Now, for a long time, and you may have heard from some other companies, that discoloration doesn't impact the effectiveness of treatment, and that's actually not true. So as these metal electrode plates corrode, it actually impedes the flow of the electrical current. And as we all know, the electric current will flow through the path of least resistance. And so therefore, in areas where you're going to see discoloration or even pitting, that skin surface area is not going to be receiving the treatment. And so suddenly you're concentrating that electrical current into just aspects of either your hands, feet, or underarms that you're treating, as opposed to having a wide, consistent coverage over the entire skin surface area. So, modern iontophoresis, we reinvented this process and said, well, we understand why tap water and electricity is necessary to this process, but what if we could remove the metal from this whole equation? So with that, I'm very proud to introduce you all to the Fischer, the latest iontophoresis device from R.A. Fischer. It's a modern, elegant, stylish, but again, most important factors that we really wanted to focus on when innovating our product was safety, ease of use, and effectiveness. Here you see those silicone-graphite electrodes. This is what is going to set the Fischer apart from any other traditional iontophoresis machine. So conventional, again, traditional machines rely on those metal electrode plates that we just saw in an earlier slide that corrode over time. They are rigid. They are not as durable. Here you can see our state-of-the-art silicone graphite electrodes. They are soft touch. They are flexible. They contour to the skin better than traditional metal plates. And most importantly, they will never corrode. Here you can actually see that flexibility and imagine this applied to the underarm area, where again, those traditional metal plates that are rigid are going to miss some of that skin surface area. So these deliver a more effective treatment for auxiliary hyperhidrosis patients. We'll talk more about those effectiveness features in a minute. Here for a hyperhidrosis patient who is treating their hands, you can see how easy and comfortable the treatment is with ergonomic armrests on those water bath trays. We also have custom pH balancing foam inserts that help to balance the pH levels during treatment so that the treatment is consistent across the skin surface area, but then it also allows the patient to rest their hands comfortably. Here you can see a hyperhidrosis patient using the Fischer to treat their feet. And here we can see the underarm attachments being used. We'll talk more about the underarm attachments shortly. We've talked briefly about the contouring to the underarms and the benefit of having that flexible material, but the sponge pad sleeves that they come with are also soft and machine washable and more durable than traditional sleeve options from traditional iontophoresis machines. Now, really, the breakthrough innovation with the Fischer is that palmar and plantar hyperhidrosis patients can treat both their hands and feet at the same time. There's no add-ons that are necessary, nothing else that you have to buy with the machine. It's ready to go right out of the box. Treat hands and feet at the same time to essentially cut your treatment session times in half. So as opposed to having to treat 20 minutes for hands and then 20 minutes for feet for a total of 40 minutes for that session, now you're only treating hands and feet at the same time for that flat 20 minutes. So let's talk more about those safety features. I've touched on a couple, but I really want to dive in depth because safety should be number one. So first and foremost, no metal means no metal ions are released into the water. Patients with metal allergies or skin sensitivities can treat with iontophoresis for the very first time. Maybe you've encountered a patient who was maybe adverse to using aluminum or metal products with thinking that, again, what happens when these ions enter my body? Now that's no longer a concern. No open metal contacts also reduces the risk of accidental burns. So in traditional iontophoresis machines with the metal plates, yes, the bottom of the plate is submerged underwater and is covered with either a towel or a foam insert, but you still have the top of the metal plate that is sticking out of the water. Now, why is this an issue? For patients who are treating their feet, for example, if you had a toe or a part of the foot that comes into contact with that open metal surface, if there's any extended contact, it will result in a burn, and you may not even feel that burn at first until you notice it after the treatment. So no open metal contacts with this iontophoresis device. Our silicone graphite electrodes are completely submerged under the water and covered by those custom pH balancing foam inserts. The new Fischer also features an anti-shock guard that protects against what's called the electric fence effect. So the science of iontophoresis depends on running the electricity into the water to deliver those natural minerals found in tap water into your sweat pores. What it's doing is creating a circuit by you having your hands and or feet into the water bath trays to complete that circuit. Now, with traditional iontophoresis machines, if a patient, let's say they're treating their hands, were to remove one of their hands to break the circuit, what would happen is a little zap or a little kind of shock effect. It's not dangerous, but it's not a comfortable experience for the patient. However, with the new Fischer, the anti-shock guard protects against that happening. So if the patient were to remove a hand, remove a foot, that effect is minimized to, again, protect the patient. And finally, the Fischer features intelligent software that ramps up and down the power to start and end the treatment. So it allows your body to comfortably adjust to those power settings, especially for patients who are new to iontophoresis and aren't quite sure at what power level they should be treating out to start. This allows them to really start on the low side, work their way up, but comfortably feel which each power level feeling ultimately feels like without just jumping into it. So what makes the Fischer easier to use? One of the reasons we focused on ease of use was because how easy it is to use ultimately leads to how likely is the patient going to adopt this as a treatment option. So with the Fischer, we talked about treating hands and feet at the same time to reduce those treatment session times in half for palmar and plantar hyperhidrosis patients. If you take a look at the main control unit here, you'll notice that the Fischer features a 3-button interface. It's incredibly intuitive. It is not cluttered with buttons that give you way too many options. There's a very simple set button that allows you to toggle between the different parameters that you're setting, and then a simple left and right that allows you to increase and decrease those numbers. The active treatment display, or ATD, shows patients in real time when the device has reached preset power levels. So there's no need to ever wonder, is it working ever again? You'll actually see this on the right-hand side of the screen in this little GIF that we have that shows the Fischer's main control unit. And you'll see these bar graphs on either side of the power level. So this patient right now is treating at 4 milliamps. You'll see those power levels ramp up to begin the treatment and ramp down to kind of end the treatment. So again, it's getting the patient comfortably adjusted to that power setting. So the last ease of use feature I wanted to touch on was the fact that the Fischer's new control unit and overall setup, it's compact, it's lightweight, and it's easy to travel with. In fact, it's both 220 and 110 volt compatible. So if you're looking to travel internationally with your device, there's no need to buy any adapters. So why is the Fischer more effective? Because at the end of the day, it's results that matter, right? Silicon graphite electrodes won't corrode and become less effective over time like metal plates can. We've talked about this already, but I can't talk about it enough. The fact that silicon graphite is now introduced into this equation is really a game changer in terms of the effectiveness. So talking about auxiliary patients, for example, because the electrodes are soft and flexible, it contours to that underarm to deliver a more consistent treatment across that skin surface area. But another great feature of the Fischer is the fact that it's both a direct current and a pulsed current machine. So traditional iontophoresis machines are usually designed to be either direct current or pulsed current, and so you kind of have your options. But now the Fischer it offers both settings in one machine. What this allows patients to do is really treat according to their preferences. Direct current over time has been proven to be the most effective treatment option. So it allows patients to essentially see results faster by treating on DC. But for patients who are maybe sensitive to the treatment, younger patients or just patients with skin sensitivities, maybe they're looking for a more comfortable experience. And so they can set the machine to the pulsed current setting. So this is the total Fischer package, everything that comes with it. You'll see the water bath trays to the left. They feature the black matte silicone graphite electrodes with the custom pH balancing foam inserts. Here we have the instruction manual for the Fischer. It is very in-depth and provides you with everything you need to know to get set up in 5 minutes or less. Our website and social media channels also feature some great educational videos, so please, we encourage you to check those out. The Fischer comes with a storage bag, which is different than a lot of traditional machines, which feature a carrying case that doubles as the water bath trays. However, from our experience, the edging of those trays is not always comfortable for patients who are looking to treat their hands, and so they oftentimes either have to buy an accessory with that, or they're draping some sort of foam insert over it. So these water bath trays are designed to be a more comfortable experience. Also, the reason that you don't necessarily need a carrying case is when storing all of these things together, especially if there's any damp aspects that are left over, it can result in smells over time. And so this is kind of a very nice, light, airy way to store everything. Obviously, the storage bag picture here is not to scale. It's large enough to actually fit everything that you see here into the storage bag. Next to the storage bag, you'll notice a picture of the Fischer's main control unit. Again, I'd like to point out the 3 buttons, so it's a very simple user interface. There's actually no language included in operating the Fischer. So it doesn't matter if you speak English, Spanish, German, you'll be able to use this device right out of the box. Above that, the auxiliary electrodes along with the sponge pad sleeves, and then we have the power cable and the electrode cords. Educational support for patients, because we really do love to teach. I mentioned that our website and social media channels have great educational content. We want to give your patients confidence when starting treatment. Again, if they feel like they can use it and if they feel like it's easy to use, then they're going to embrace it and they're going to see success with it. So we've created whiteboard videos, free download guides, blog articles, infographics, and really focused on creating an in-depth instruction manual to give patients all sorts of options because everyone likes to learn differently. Younger patients may prefer to watch a video, whereas older patients may actually prefer to talk through someone on the phone. So in conclusion, why RA Fischer? Why the Fischer? Our new device, modern iontophoresis, is safer, it's easier, it's more effective. And then the final point I want to touch on is that it's covered by insurance. So RA Fischer is a full-service iontophoresis provider. We work with major insurance companies like TRICARE, Aetna, United, UMR, and more directly on behalf of patients to get the cost of the device covered. If you're exploring other iontophoresis options and talking to other companies, they'll usually say that it's something that the patient has to explore on their own, or the patient can seek reimbursement after purchasing out of pocket. While we do have out-of-pocket options and monthly payment plans for patients who lack insurance coverage or hyperhidrosis coverage specifically in their policy, we do work directly with insurance companies. Not only that, we file the prior authorizations for you. We file the insurance claims. So from the doctor's office standpoint, there's very little work to be done on your end, and we can take care of all of that. So patient success with iontophoresis really depends on those three factors that we've touched on throughout this webinar: safety, ease of use, and effectiveness of the machine that you are prescribing for them. And thanks to the Fischer's state-of-the-art silicone graphite electrodes and advanced technology, our device promises the best in all three of those categories. And so we like to say that when reputation meets innovation, you get the Fischer, because we have been doing this for over 30 years. RA Fischer is the original name in iontophoresis, and now we're really proud to offer you the most modern and advanced device on the market today. We invite you to get your modern iontophoresis educational packet today. Simply email us at info@rafischer.com. We can send that out to you. It includes some nice pamphlets that are both iontophoresis related as well as hyperhidrosis general symptoms related. And we'll include in that a copy of our insurance and physicians packet that has all of the paperwork needed to submit a prior authorization request for patients who are looking to get iontophoresis covered by insurance. And in that packet includes things like a medical letter of necessity and other key aspects that insurance companies look for. So it really is a great educational piece to have handy. If you're looking to refer patients to us via email, I encourage you to send us prescriptions or send us information via our secure inbox at rx@rafischer.com. You can also fax patient referrals to us via our secure fax line at 818-775-2941. And as always, check out our website at rafischer.com for the latest info. We will be updating our website and doing a complete refresh with the new Fischer coming soon. So keep an eye out for those updates. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you. Please look forward to other webinars that we have scheduled in the future. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. Thanks. Have a great day.